All right, ladies, welcome back to the Savage Girl's Guide to Men. I am your host, Samantha, from Samantha Savage Wisdom. Savage truth teller, boundary enforcer, and your unapologetic guide to raising the bar sky high in both life and love. This is the space where lies come to die, where excuses get dragged into light, and where women like you remember who the hell you are. Now, before we get to today's fire, I need to take a moment to tell you thank you. Truly, the way you've been showing up for this podcast is mind-blowing. Every DM, every screenshot, you are proof that women are waking up. And that's what this movement is about. It's not about men. It's about women returning home to themselves. Because when a woman centers herself, stops orbiting men, approval, or fear, everything in her life starts to shift. So take a deep breath, straighten your posture, fix your crown, because today we're exposing one of the most toxic lies ever told to women. That lie is the ugly man will treat you better. You've heard it since middle school, date the ugly one, he'll treat you better. Pretty boys are heartbreak. He may not be cute, but he'll worship you. Let's be clear, this isn't wisdom, it's trauma dressed up as disguise. It's advice born from heartbreak, passed down from women who were taught to survive, not thrive. They believe the lie that respect and attraction cannot coexist, that love means compromise, not compatibility. But when did we start believing that our standards were a liability? This lie didn't come from a happy woman. It came from women who were tired and betrayed and trying to find meaning in their pain. And because they didn't know how to heal, they repackaged it as a survival strategy. But here's the savage truth. Choosing a man you're not attracted to because you think it's safer, that's not maturity, that's self-abandonment. You lower the bar twice, in attraction and treatment, and then you call it being realistic. No, queen, that's emotional budgeting. That's spiritual bankruptcy. And what happens when you date a man you're not drawn to out of fear or obligation? You create imbalance. You start performing gratitude for something you never wanted. You mother him instead of meeting him as an equal. You tolerate instead of desire. And here's the kicker. When a beautiful, powerful woman gives a mediocre man access, she gives him credibility. Other women see that and say, oh, if she's with him, he must be special. And suddenly, he's validated. You just turned him into a walking rebrand. You became his resume, his PR campaign, his ego's sponsorship deal. And instead of being grateful, he gets high on that validation. You think he's grateful for that? Now he's testing what else he can pull. He starts thinking, if I got her, maybe I can get more. And just like that, you didn't just settle. You trained him how to use you as leverage. Ugly doesn't mean humble. Ugly just means untested. Until a queen like you gives him a chance. So why do we even fall for it? Because we've been conditioned in scarcity. Scarcity of love, scarcity of men, scarcity of self-worth. We're told since childhood, don't be too picky. Men are rare, lock one down before it's too late. So we start negotiating with fear. If I can't have chemistry, I'll take consistency. If I can't have passion, I'll settle for peace. If I can't have it all, I'll just choose someone who won't hurt me. That, queens, is not peace. That's numbness dressed up as safety. Because when you choose from fear, you manifest fear. When you choose from scarcity, you attract takers. And when you date from wounds, you call chaos love. Men can feel when you don't really want them. They feel it in how you touch them, how you respond, how you look away instead of looking up. And instead of them feeling gratitude, they feel resentment. They know you settled, and that triggers their insecurity. And what do insecure men do? They punish. They start asserting control. They'll test your boundaries. They'll make you pay for being the one with options. So now you've got a relationship with zero passion, zero safety, zero respect. That's not stability, that's self-betrayal. Think back to the first time someone told you this lie. Who was it? What pain were they trying to protect you from? Did they look fulfilled? Did they radiate joy themselves? Or did they look tired, passing down survival rules from a generation that forgot what wholeness feels like? Let's get into some real-world truth, because I've seen this play out so many times, in my life and the women I love. One friend told me I thought if I dated down, I'd be safe. He wasn't attractive, but I thought he'd be grateful. Instead, he resented me. Every time I dressed up, he accused me of showing off. Every time another man looked at me, he'd sulk or start an argument. He wasn't insecure because she was too much. He was insecure because he was too little. Another listener said he cheated with women who were thrilled to get crumbs. Turns out he wasn't humble, he was just opportunistic. Ladies, I've seen this in every city, every age, and every tax bracket. Ugly doesn't equal loyal. It often equals bitter. Bitter men don't love better, they just punish quieter. Now let me tell you about another friend. She dated a man who wasn't conventionally attractive, but he had a great body. Like he lived at the gym, had muscles for days, walked around like he was sculpted by Zeus himself. And that combination fooled her into thinking he was grounded. She thought he's humble, he's not chasing women. Maybe this one is different. Queens, he was a nightmare. Because beneath that nice guy with the six-pack was pure control. He was obsessed with her, but not in a loving way. It was possession disguised as passion. He didn't care about her as a person. He cared about what she did for him. Her beauty made him feel powerful. Her attention validated him, and he was controlling in every way. He expected intimacy every single day, even when she was in pain. Even when she had honeymoon cystitis and was in physical pain, he didn't care. She was physically suffering. It's like her body existed to maintain his emotional stability. That's not love, that's entitlement. He didn't care about her comfort, her well-being, or her humanity, only that his needs were met. It took her months to leave, because manipulation convinces you that chaos is normal, that control is protection, that being desired means being consumed. When she walked away, she said, I thought finally dating someone that was less attractive would be easier, that I'd be safe. But he was the most unsafe man I've ever been with. And that hit me hard because how many other women think the same way? We lower our standards hoping for peace and end up renting misery. So let me say this clearly. A man can have an average face, fabulous body, and a rotten soul. Physical discipline does not equal emotional maturity, and control will never equal care. Just because a man wants you constantly doesn't mean he values you. Sometimes the ones that never stop touching you are the ones who never truly see you. So what's the real pattern to watch for? It's not about looks, it's about alignment. The question isn't, is he ugly or fine? It's, is he emotionally safe? Does he have self-awareness? Does he have boundaries? Does he honor your boundaries? Does he apologize without being defensive? Does he create calm or chaos? Because a healed man doesn't use control as a substitute for intimacy. He doesn't weaponize your empathy to feed his ego. When a man is emotionally healthy, his energy feels grounded. Your nervous system relaxes around him. You feel seen, not managed. You feel wanted, not used. So here's your reflection prompt for this section. How do you feel after you leave his presence? Not how he acts, how you feel. Do you exhale or brace yourself? Do you glow or do you shrink? Your body always knows before your mind admits it. Let's talk about what happens when you stop making relationships the center of your life and you start making yourself the center of your identity. Because this isn't just about dragging men. It's about recentering your energy. When you're centered, you stop dating from scarcity. You stop needing validation to feel valued. You stop looking for safety in someone else's brokenness. Being centered means you're grounded in your own truth. You know your worth in silence. You know peace without permission. And here's the paradox. When you feel centered, the men who want to control you lose access. They sense they can't manipulate you anymore. They can't guilt you with, you're lucky to have me. Because you know the truth. He's lucky to have been chosen. Because when you center yourself, the bare minimum no longer even registers. It doesn't anger you, it just doesn't attract you. And baby, that's the next level of healing. So I want you to visualize this. You standing tall, balanced energy. Not chasing, not convincing, not proving. Radiating worth. That's the version of you that no man can play games with. That's the version of you that can walk away without closure. Because peace is your closure. That's what centered woman energy is. Let me bring this back home. I once dated the ugly man. And I told myself maybe this is what I've been missing. Who will appreciate me? Didn't. He was selfish, emotionally unavailable, a drinker, and always the victim. Never took accountability. And every time I brought up my feelings, he had twisted around to somehow how I was the problem. I thought he'd be grateful to have me. He acted like he was lucky to tolerate me. It taught me something permanent. You can't outkind a man's lack of character. You can't outloyal a man's lack of growth. You can't shrink your light enough to make a broken man feel safe. So I stopped dating men who should be grateful. I started dating men who are ready to match me. Men who move in peace, not possession. Men who would see me as sacred, not convenient. And that's what healed love feels like. Reciprocal, calm, and intentional. And it starts when you center yourself first. Okay, ladies, let's land this plane. Ugly men don't treat you better. Handsome men don't treat you worse. Looks are irrelevant when the soul is unhealed. Character, accountability, emotional intelligence. That's what makes a man safe. So your homework for this week, write down your top 5 non-negotiables for emotional peace. Tape them on your mirror. Say them out loud every morning. Because when you stay centered, you stay untouchable. Let's say it together. I am the prize. Do not settle. Standards are sacred. My energy is my power. My peace is priceless. I am untouchable. This has been the Savage Girl's Guide to Men. I am Samantha from Samantha Savage Wisdom. Find me daily on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube for your unapologetic truth bombs and feminine fire. Subscribe, leave a review, and share this with other women that need this wisdom. As always, stay savage.